He has so many votes, above 20 votes, but we are giving him 10 minutes to make a presentation, then another 10 minutes for reaction. So concentrate on BFP. Remember, let's concentrate on BFP. Let's not go into COVID, what, BFP. So, Honorable Chair, the floor is yours. Talk to the BFP, your report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and good morning, honorable members.
Morning.
I want to thank you for the opportunity you've given us to present. As you are aware, this is a fairly big sector with over 20 votes, but the chair has given me little time to be able to explain the issues. Allow me to first take you to a reference page now that I'm supposed to be doing summary. I take you to a reference page, which is page 27, where you see a summary of, I've not talked about, there's not been a change. There's not been a change in the proposed allocation to the sector, apart from
change from last year.
Yes, from this current running year, apart from 20
It came down.
billion shillings that was put to regional referral hospitals to share in the non-wage allocation, and also a reduction in the external funding in capital development of 200 billion. However, when you go to the table of reference, which is on page 27, named Annex 1, it gives a summary of the votes from their proposed budgets, and then the MTEF indication, and then the gap is indicated, and then the percentage funding of the MTEF is indicated in the last column, and the different votes are broken down. They are not ideal, but basic requirement, and the gaps are shown in the table. Apart from Gulu and Hoima, which have indicated that the proposed allocation may be satisfactory, the other votes are ranging from 73 to 17% allocation based on the requirement, and the total gap is nearly, slightly over 1 trillion shillings, 69 billion. So that is what the sector proposed in their budget, and the Minister of Finance offered the 1 trillion less. So yes, but we can't handle all of them as we have indicated. We have to pick out a few issues that should be sorted in the immediate term. Yes. So that one, I'll now take you back to page 14, where I started with National Medical Stores. One of my sisters here was talking about Mama Kids. If you reference Annex 1 with what we put on page 14, Annex 1 indicates a funding gap of 109 billion shillings. But we've only captured the HIV and TB drug allocation of 55 billion. So the Honorable from Papuachi, your Mama Kids are still not there. So maybe we can, if you get that one, we can divide and see.
If you consider
maternal
health and child health a non-issue in this country?
Not necessarily a non-issue. But we have captured a bit of maternal health in what we proposed as recruitment, because on top of absence of drugs and supplies, there is also shortage of staff. If you realize, even if we had gone through the preamble, you will notice that part of the money that was not utilized, the over 100 billion in the other financial year, was supposed to be wage, but because of failure to attract, because of low pay, and also other challenges in the process of the red tape of recruitment. So, not that we are not considering the maternal health as vital, but because there are very many other pressing challenges.
Chair.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Chair, I agree with him when he says that, you know, in recruiting more health workers is also definitely a good thing in terms of maternal health. But I think we should not deceive Ugandans, mothers out there. That government is
Hold on, remember. I would like to raise a procedural matter because yesterday we used an approach. We had a whole day, but today we have half day. So what we do, we allow the presenter summarize. Then we shall ask them questions. Okay, we allow ask the last one.
Well,
She's leaving.
okay, in the
just a minute. I agree that we really need to because when mothers come to facilities and they don't get the skilled health workers, that is even worse. But I think we maybe as a country we should not give false impressions to mothers out there that we are giving them these supplies in the name of Mama Kit. I moved to a number of health facilities in my constituency. In 2 months, even where births are more than 100 in a month, they give only 30 kids. Even in health center tools where the deliveries are taking place, you find over 40 deliveries that are carried out in a month. But you're giving 30 kids in 2 months. So why don't we then remove that budget completely if we can't adequately serve mothers out there and we concentrate on recruitment and other maybe drugs so that maybe through a yoga we can increase the money to a yoga so that more women out there can be able to engage in productive activities and they are able to afford these mama kits for themselves than giving a false impression that you actually give them monthly or quarterly.
Okay. Thank you. We will clarify that later.
Okay, I've noted. The second vote was UBTS, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services. We had recommended that an extra 5.71 billion to scale up blood mobilization activities and increase access and availability of blood. The whole country is affected. The third one is about remuneration and salary enhancement for health workers. There is a table on the next page that shows the staffing gaps in the different public health institutions. Where you see, if you start from bottom up, you see the pathologists, those are like people. Public health, the staffing is at 14%, and you know, like public health is supposed to be for health promotion, prevention of diseases, which should be key. And then radiology, ENT, all of them are below 30%. Mental health is a big issue, but psychiatry, they are only at 7%. Anesthesia is only at 7%, despite the presence of human resource. Orthopedics, that is trauma and accidents. Then we see someone was talking about maternal health. Obstetrics and gynecology, 52%. Child health, 45%. The physicians, 38%. These are established government positions that are not filled.
Norms mean positions, yes.
This,
norms.
the structure, that is what is there now. Yes.
Norms.
No, this is the standard. The standard.
Or
Yes.
acceptable
Yes,
standard.
but positions are the ones I think that.
Okay.
Yes.
I can see somewhere where positions are 3,000, the norms are 18,000, and the field positions are 17,000. What
So-
does that mean?
Now, we start with the first one, where you have the norms 270, and this one is overstaffed. So there is slightly above. So this is the actual. The field one is the actual.
Yes.
Yes.
But this one is the variance, 3,000 positions.
That is the health
Nursing
inspector.
staff.
Inspector.
Nursing staff. The
I think
positions are 3,000. What does that column mean compared to norms?
I think that one shouldn't be there.
Okay.
The first column. I think the first column, ignore and take norms and field.
Okay. You know that position, you'll have to amend your report to remove it.
We have edited it on the answer.
Okay.
So you take the last one of the percentage. That is the level, average level. The majority are nearly below 50%. So partly a small portion is because they are not attracting to recruit because of the low wage. The second one is the wage bill is also not present. So there are big challenges there. And so we had recommended that an extra 70 billion be provided to fill the vacant position and the enhancement in a few areas. Yes. And then there is also a component of the medical interns and senior house officers who need 21 billion and 8 billion respectively. You realize that initially we used to have only one medical school producing the interns, but now there are over 8 medical schools producing nearly 1,000 doctors, but the wage has remained the same. And these are the frontline health workers in most of the facilities. When you get there, whereas they have graduated, they are still in supervised employment. And so it is not clear how to be handled, but government has been providing some little resources to see that those are sorted. 7.5 mentions the technical aspect of delay in recruitment, which is not about money only. It is about the process. It is a policy issue. 7.5 is mainly a policy issue. Yes, yeah, where recruitment, for instance, recruitment for this financial year, the adverts are coming out in March, meaning that the money provided will not be used. So it is a long process. That's a policy issue. 7.6 is about operationalizing the ambulance services.
I'm sorry, doctor.
Yes.
You will not mention this one of doctors earning the same like those in education institutions. The ones in hospitals,
Okay.
qualifications.
Okay. You have a senior consultant in the Ministry of Health,
Yeah.
who is equivalent to a professor, or who is equivalent to a high court judge. But they are being paid the net of 5 million shillings.
Yes.
And they're also being given, in their terms of reference, they give them cards on paper. There are only 40 positions in government, 20 of which are filled. But they are given appointment letters with the benefits which are not offered, and even their terms of service are not commensurate with what.
How about the ones in hospitals, leave alone the ones in the ministry?
No, these ones are in hospitals actually, senior consultants, not Ministry of Health.
So those in hospitals are not earning like those in universities?
No, they are not. They are earning 30% of what they should earn, despite the fact that the president has promised. And he keeps on giving lip service to this, but Minister of Finance is
But
not
I'm not
responding.
trying to quantify the money needed for those.
Yes.
For those medical workers to
Yeah, I thought we had when we discussed with the Mr. Goa, is the one who put it in the 70 billion, but I didn't expected that it would be captured second.
Yeah, special
separately.
item, yeah, because that's a very critical special item. Okay,
So that is noted.
proceed.
Yes. So I was jumping to 7.6, where we have the emergency medical service and national ambulance system. the government did a roll call of ambulances in the country. And they have over 350, including those that Honorable Kayinza bought. But there are also new ambulances that government has bought during COVID, and others have been donated. And they're in the process of establishing a coordinated ambulance and rescue system where they require about 26.88 billion shillings. But with our discussions with the sector, they said even if we offer half of it, they can do it in a stepwise manner and operationalize the critical areas on the highways and the regional referrals to start the coordination process.
Okay.
Then there's the issue of health facilities. This one is policy 7.7, where we approved the construction or upgrade of health facilities 3 years ago. But for instance, the 124 that we approved, up to now, 6 are not yet operational. So that was a policy issue, it is not about money. 7.8 talks about functionalizing of Kawempe, Chirudu and Entebbe referral hospitals. In terms of drugs and staffing, they are still grossly understaffed, yet we have also, budget committee has added the Kayunga Hospital, which is not captured anywhere near the budget framework paper. So there is also a deficit of at least 21 billion shillings.
For all of the three?
Yes, to start with.
7.
Yes, but not the full one reflected in the 1 trillion, but we thought if we break it into 3, we can start somewhere. Then there is the other issue of Lubowa. That is also policy because it doesn't appear anywhere in the...
Jump that one.
Yes, I see the chairman budget has feared that one.
It's not there this year.
Then there's issue of COVID, where there are policy issues of audit, and because there's money that was donated.
It is not yet appropriated.
Yes, it's not yet appropriated. It has to come through supplementary, so it hasn't been used.
We have it.
So that one, budget committee will talk about it at the right time. And then also to integrate COVID into the routine medical services, I think we require extra money, 173 billion shillings. Gross. I see the chair is looking at me. But the emphasis should be on stopping to run COVID as a project, and as government we should adjust to the new norm of living with it as we are living with malaria. Then there is Mulago complex. You know there is also a component of the super specialization that was supposed to start in 2018. Staff were trained, but they are redundant. So we need at least 50 billion to make it operational, capturing equipment and other things that should be used and wait. Then government is also establishing a bands unit, and they need little money of 2 billion shillings to operationalize it.
Are they establishing or it's there?
Enhancing its performance.
Okay.
Yes. Enhancing the operations of the bands unit.
Yeah.
You need at least 2 billion shillings.
Especially that we are getting petrol.
7.13 is about ICT, especially as we plan to have medical insurance. So we start with the ICT and the proper identification in the regional referrals.
And the telemedicine.
Yes, and that required at least 8 billion for regional referrals and 3 billion at the center.
How much?
8 billion in the regional referrals. And then at the coordination center.
Each regional referral?
No. No, for the 14.
You know what they call telemedicine?
Yes, I know. The equipment has been installed in the super specialized hospital, but they can't operationalize it without the connection.
The internet and so on.
Then there are issues of counterpart funding. For instance, the Children's Surgical Hospital that requires 13 billion for counterpart funding. And then there is a list which the clerk didn't capture here of general hospitals that should be refurbished. Yes. But because the clerk was doing things fast, he did capture and required 23 billion to get to that.
All those hospitals.
Not all, they have selected, I think, on about 4. Then there is a functionality of oxygen plants in the regional hospitals. They break down regularly and they require maintenance. And they are estimated that at least 100 million
They are
for each.
new and they have to
Yes,
guarantees.
I'm not sure about the guarantees, but they're about 4 or 5 years old, some of them now, the first one. Because we started with them in 2016 and others came in later. Then that is only 1.4 billion for maintenance. Then there is the home of the Uganda Heart Institute. It requires a significant amount of money, which may be more than 200 billion shillings.
How much is already there?
They don't have anything allocated, it's not a priority anyway.
Yet they started.
No, they haven't
They
started.
started up there.
They got space,
Up there in after cancer, when you are going up.
but they haven't started. After cancer, that is still the East African Center of Excellence for Oncology.
Okay.
Yes, it is not Heart Institute. Heart Institute has nothing yet, so it's not yet prioritized to kickstart the process. We want to commit you such that we will remove slowly. So
You are welcome.
the summary is indicated in that table there, Annex 1, which we went through in the beginning. I think I will stop there and ask for questions. Dental school is with the Honorable Polot Jacob, that is the Minister of Education. Yes, but you can come, you can call me when you see and I elaborate, but it's the Honorable Polot.
Here and here.
Dental school is under Makerere
And here, member.
College of Health Sciences, so it is under Ministry of Education, though it is still the same sector in the new program-based approach. They confuse the program-based approach. But also the Honorable Polot is the chair of the parliamentary response.
Colleagues, you have,
Human capital development.
we are giving another 10 minutes for questions.
Mama Kids, the first question I'll respond to.
You
Mama
take all
Kids
of them
is the one
and
I answered.
I
I
will
will
start
start
with that one. If there are any
Okay.
other questions for the sector, Honorable Pachuto, any other person? Ah, good. So there is only Pachuto.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, mine is about blood transfusion services. Chair, I'm seeking clarification from the Chair Health Committee. One, the recommendations I've made apparently seems very attractive, but it's not clear. Government should allocate additional 5.71 billion to scale up blood mobilization activities and increase access and availability of blood across all levels of health service delivery. I need clarification. At the moment, some little blood is stored at health center folds and general hospitals and probably referral hospitals. So when you say across all levels of health service delivery, are you trying to tell us that with additional 5.7 billion, you will be able to procure other equipment that can keep this blood at health center 3 levels and health center 2 levels as well? If so, then that is really a very beautiful plan, because members will realize that there is really an increased need for blood across the country for various reasons. We have hepatitis B in the West along the water bodies, especially Albert Nile. Most of our people are suffering from bilharzia, and as a result, a lot of blood vomiting and whatever. And then, because of poor motorized activities on our roads, coupled with the bad roads themselves, a number of accidents, and therefore many Ugandans require blood. So the question is it true, as per your recommendation, if you got 5.7 additional billion shillings, you would extend these services at all levels of health facilities across the country.
Colleagues, then we ask for clarification. Let's not make presentations. Otherwise, we are constrained by time. We shall have another day for lectures. So, class, we go straight to the
Chair, I needed another clarification on upgrade of health facilities.
Hospitals.
From one level to another. I don't know what your committee did here. You are simply you want the ministry to submit to Parliament smart strategies to address delays in construction. So, as a committee, you are satisfied that for the time being, for this financial year, we still go with upgrading of only the 62 left. And where is the budget here? How much do you require to upgrade the 62? And are there any plans to upgrade others? Because even this 100 or so, I don't know which regions you concentrated on upgrading the health center tools. It seems to just work with a district or a region, because I don't know of any health facility upgraded in the probably Greater Bay. Thank you.
Okay, can you answer those ones?
This is a question from the man from the former Tororo district, the Honorable.
What do you mean?
There are two Tororos now. But the chair is the one to allow you to ask.
Thank you.
You man.
There is a question there. The chair has refused to allow you to ask. So,
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, the change that I knew was
What is from Toro? Why are they saying former Toro? Where have you migrated?
we are going to split it into two.
Yes.
We are splitting Tororo into two in order to stop the battles.
That's good information. The splitting is welcome. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I just wanted to find out from the Chair, Health, that during the COVID intervention programs, Malaba Health Center 3 was given an opportunity to be elevated to Health Center 4 because of the challenges at the border, being the main entry point, and the pressure in terms of cross-border movement. So I wanted to find out, we're only given 411 million shillings. That is for health center upgrade. Construction has started, but that is very little. There was a promise that we're going to get the top-up in this year's budget that we are processing now. Can you confirm, Chair, whether we have money that will help us get that health center completed?
So, Chair,
Yes,
I'll answer them.
So the first one was
COVID vaccine. What is the pain? What is the pain? What is the Chair, the issue is we don't want to. We are making it. We are trying to look for. Others have already got the vaccine. They have approved. What health organization approved. People are already buying them and they are
And before you want to research.
So why do we wait to start a research and now? Let's first get what's there. And we survive. Then how people researching for COVID.
Where's the research?
Why don't you buy malaria drug instead of researching for malaria drug?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first question was about markets. When you realize what is on table 27, it clearly indicates the funding gap, for instance, of NMS of 109 billion shillings.
They are part of that.
Yes, they are supposed to be part of that, and I think they captured about 12 billion.
Next question.
The second one is about UBTS. Still, when you go to the other table, you see the funding gap is 23 billion. But this 5.7 was to buy special purpose vehicles and facilitate them from moving from deep in the villages and also handling the refrigeration system at the health center for not everything. The third one of upgrade of health center 3 to 4. In the last financial years, 3 including this one, I think Parliament has approved the upgrade of up to 240 health center 2 to 3. But the comment in the statement, in the report, was about the 124 that were started. 8 of them have never been completed. 3 years ago, they were started 3 years ago, they have not been completed. So we wanted the ministry and government to complete what it started before it goes on to other things.
Yeah.
And these 200 are all over the country. They are in different places in the country.
Not Kachumba.
Yes, and they are picking functional center 2s, which they are upgrading to 3s. And so our comment was not about other things, but it was about making sure that the ones we started with are completed, not to leave half structures and then they say we have statistics that we've upgraded to 40.
Okay, next.
In this financial, they indicated that they had wanted to upgrade 35, but the resources are not yet available. Malaba is in the category of Eregu, which we asked about in the committee meeting. And I think they said they had the money, but for Eregu, I don't know the particular response from Malaba, but for Eregu, because they are all border points, Eregu, they had said that the land has squatters and it is also flooded, so they wanted to first sort out that with administration. I think there is a special issue which we should follow up with Tororo and see that Malaba is also sorted. But they had indicated, yes, they had indicated that they had all the resources to complete that business. Now, about vaccines, I think what the president launched yesterday was not a vaccine. Yeah, it was treatment for. These are confusing things because you remember even last year another person introduced medicines. But it is for clarity. For clarity, it isn't a vaccine. It is medicine, therapy. Yes, that is apparently what it is being branded as, but it is still under research. They have seen that it can work. Now they have taken it to a bigger population to see whether it works well.
Is there medicine for virus?
Well, based on the people who presented the medicines and who are promoting it, they are veteran international public health experts, much as they are Ugandans. So based on that, I would think there is something which they are doing. They are not like the banana people. I think these ones are slightly different. So now the vaccines, when we interfaced with the sector, they said first of all, government is going to receive from Gavi vaccines for frontline health workers.
Frontline health workers.
Yes, I think the clerk should have the detail of the amounts and quantities. Mr. Clerk, you should be able to have frontline health workers, the elderly. Each one gets 2 doses. But the total, the batch they are receiving, the first batch they are receiving is from Gavi. It is not being bought by government of Uganda.
How many doses?
I'm not sure whether he's giving the right figure, but we can get it. But the PS indicated that they are expecting on frontline health workers and high-risk population, but it's a donation from Gavi.
Okay.
So when we asked about an estimate of what would require the government to procure our own vaccine, the sector indicated that they are still in negotiations, that a group of countries over 100, they are negotiating to see that they get the same price, good brands and other things, and they'll be able to update us. So they are non-committal on that one, yes.
Oh, they don't want to wipe out COVID.
And I don't think government of Uganda is the one that is interested in wiping out or not wiping out. But they are trying to see that they
what
get.
would be the price of
Because other
Price
companies are
of
buying
that vaccine.
vaccine for you, just here.
What are the existing market prices?
I'm not in position to respond to that one.
Sorry?
But they say they are still negotiating.
Okay, there is one, yes, Honorable Kiza.
I would like to thank the chairperson of the health committee for his sincerity, because yesterday I watched the head of state launching a vaccine for the COVID virus. I'm now
Launching a research.
No.
It was a trial.
He was launching the trial drug for the vaccine. I'm now clearly understanding that it's a drug. Now, what was not clear is who is making it. Because there are some doctors here who came and told the speaker they can make medicine for COVID, and then eventually we realized they were only making sanitizers. Can we know who the person that is behind this drug, so we can know whether Ugandans are safe or Ugandans are secure?
Well, I think there's a gentleman who came last year who was promoting the sanitizer. Yes, which the press misquoted as a treatment for COVID, but it was a sanitizer, and he said it was effective in killing the virus if you use it on your hands and other things, but not in the body. Now, there is a section of Ugandans who are promoting natural products to treat COVID-19. Now, what the president launched yesterday, I think, is called scientifically a phase 2 trial. The drug goes through phase 1, where they test it in animals and very small populations, and see that it is effective. It is being marketed as a Ugandan product. I'm not sure, I'm yet to investigate. Maybe it is like the other Kayola bus where they imported and assembled and said it is being manufactured here. I'm not sure. But what was launched yesterday is the second last phase of testing medicine that could possibly cure COVID-19. And after this phase, the scientists will be able to come out and say that this drug that we are testing is not effective and we can't use it. So we haven't reached the level of saying this is a drug that we cure, but the second level of testing to see that is it really effective in this smaller population. So after this phase 2, I think that is the best way to say it. After this phase 2, it is when the scientists will come out and say that this medicine is not effective, or we've seen that it is effective, so instead of the 200 people, we are going to give it to 30,000 people for the last phase. So that is where we are. It is not really treatment that has started working, no? They are still testing it.
Okay.
And it is not a vaccine.
Doctor, we have off-shelf vaccines, and the price range between $32 and $37.
Vaccine?
Anything.
Where do you get it?
What is that? Between $32 and $37 per dose. And this is the
And each person is
actual off-shelf. $37, $35, and $30, and yet we test COVID at $50. So why don't you buy vaccine? Are you still interested in testing when actually you can buy vaccine which is cheaper?
Or you allow private businessmen with the proper standards
You are
to
testing
import.
it, yeah.
If now you can import, and the point is, he brings the right thing so that those with some money can get. Because if my man here has his money and is vaccinated, he can't get COVID. When I meet him, he can't.
Infect.
I think I would be safer if my neighbor is vaccinated, much as I'm not.
So why do you continue wasting a lot of money on testing when actually you could spend less money
to
vaccinate the person?
And
you're still prioritizing.
Much as there is a
testing
markup,
as
can
line of action.
take it to 100.
We need a
So that this money we are voting, we are saying for COVID interventions, why not
Buy vaccines.
buy vaccines?
No more money for testing. Buy vaccines.
I'm not even.
Well, I don't know whether that would be the correct public health response. But
Is that average or the minimum?
I think even that the vaccine is much cheaper than what is said.
You can't even see.
The vaccine is much cheaper than what is said.
This was in August.
Yes, it is much cheaper than what is said, and it is likely to be much cheaper than that with time. But I think we wait for the response from the sector, because they indicated that they're in advanced stages of discussion of importing vaccines as they're even cheaper than $20. They are negotiating as a team, a block of many countries, to get it cheaper and to get the vaccine that is easier to handle in our tropical environment.
We can even make a fundraising. The president can call a fundraising, and we fundraise like people fundraise the vehicles.
If we fundraise for food distribution, why can't we fundraise for vaccine?
Fundraise for vaccine and we buy. You take those ideas. Yes.
Yeah, you might realize that there are some people who have already procured these test kits and they want to recover their money fast.
That's what our
And all these delays are to make them benefit. That's why they're doing everything it takes to delay the process of getting the vaccines, doing all that is needed.
I think that is not true, because you see, if you are following what is happening around us, I think no one around us has been able to procure the vaccines within the region. No one has been able to deliver. They haven't yet ordered. They are still negotiating. Even the Rwandese are still negotiating. So no one has delivered the vaccines. No, if the Tanzanians have refused, the others are still negotiating. So I think this is a conspiracy theory that is not correct. Because you see, even in the US, you can see that with their targets, they haven't yet even gone to what they should have delivered. There's a smaller component of the population that has received. So I think the conspiracy theories shouldn't be promoted. We give them time to deliver.
A small one.
Okay.
A small one.
It's not about the conspiracy theory.
I thought you
It's
had
ruling out the conspiracy theory.
This one is saying that Otieno imported test kits. He wants to fast finish. When you vaccinate, it doesn't stop you from testing. Yes.
Testing will be there.
Were
you vaccinated against TB? But you can get cough and they test you tomorrow.
Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I want to buy Honorable Fieno's idea that why don't we, since we are at a time of budgeting process, why don't we look for what will work better for Ugandans in terms of if it is cheaper to buy vaccines, why don't we go for vaccines? But the chair is telling us that the country, the ministry is at an advanced stage of negotiations on this. But in your interactions with them, what time period, what is the time frame that we expect these negotiations to end, so that we, by May, as Parliament, we know whether to budget for vaccines or to budget for more tests. Exactly. So how long will it take the country to go and bargain?
Okay, Honorable Leper, the last one.
Thank you, Chair. I do apologize for coming late, but at least my question is going to be timely to the chairperson of the health committee. Looking at the slow progress on the upgrade of health facilities, I know this question has been asked, but mine is a bit different. Karamoja Sub-Region Chair, Karamoja Sub-Region is not benefiting from this program of upgrade of health center facilities. That is Health Center 2 to Health Center 3. Karamoja is meant to benefit from 10 million euro loan.
Italian grant.
Yes. So up to now, we don't have an assurance. And we feel from Karamoja we have been left out Can you comment on this so that we are aware and ensure that also our centers are going to be upgraded like any other center in the part of the country? Thank you.
Okay, starting with the first question, which was about the vaccines. The vaccines, we discussed that issue, and the sector promised us that by the time we reach to the policy statement, the second call circular, we shall be having something solid.
Wonderful.
And that is why in our recommendation on 7.1, we talked about vaccines and promotion as a way of managing COVID.
Next question.
The second question is about the Karamoja facilities. The initial arrangement was that Karamoja is excluded. We had because they had a special facility, grant facility from the Italian government.
Okay.
Even the honorable member from Nakapilipit asked about that, but I think I can't respond on to how far they have gone with that. I can help you and I find out.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Capture it in our next report.
Thank you for your good report.
Yes,
We
it's
have
not
looked at the
going to come
issues.
next time.
Take over the chairmanship. So thank you. You can take leave. We need another committee now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members.
The others who came and walked away because we are busy here. Education was here, so we are still.
I'm going to present a signed one.
Yeah, you
It's
know.
not only the drug scientists around, you know. It's not the scientists.
No, I'm a politician, I retired from the side.
Yes,
I see a committee there. No support.
It's part of the
Department of Health. Okay. So cool, agriculture was here.
But Jill is here.
She's going to present finance.
Jill.
Come and
Oh, no,
report
Jill.
you here.
Otherwise, Jen, what to do? Ask me. Ask me. We are waiting. You support. Bring those committees to come. Tell them we are waiting. Immediately we should be finished with the report.
Overall mandate that is done within the office of the president. They disseminate a lot of information, but more importantly, the function of monitoring and evaluation. We strongly believe monitoring and evaluation has got to be done thoroughly by usage of seminars, workshops where informations are disseminated or shared. So we are emphasizing that removal of workshops and seminars will disadvantage Office of the President
So
in
what does the
coordination.
Prime Minister's office do as far as monitoring and evaluation is concerned?
The Office of the Prime Minister also coordinates and monitors, but also the Office of the President has got specific issues, for example, over economic and social performance of major programs.